I'm Joshua Potts, Mr. Potts, but always with the brother with the same mother, Aaron Potts, Super Hot Potts, and you're watching and listening to your favorite two black runners every single
Two Black Tuesday. Excuse me, I had to be a little bit quieter on that one. I'm actually in a hotel right now, and dude, I'm going crazy. My mind is running wild after one of the best nights of track and field that I've ever seen in my life.
Bro,
Period.
honestly, that's really what it was, bro. We're filming this on Monday in the morning too. Like we had to get up, get this done real quick because and while it's really just fresh in our mind as well, just slept on it real quick, coming back for the podcast. Because last night, Sunday night, wasn't crazy for the US Olympic trials, but even just the day before, I was low-key telling Aaron, like low-key, I think Saturday was a little bit more exciting for me because I wasn't expecting all that. But really, dude, Sunday was super exciting too. Also with the 5,000 in the morning, and then on the field with JuVaughn Harrison, and then Sydney McLaughlin, and all you guys know the deal. You guys
It was
watch the
crazy.
trials. We're gonna go into it and we're gonna
Crazy.
recap just everything that went down. But before we go into that recap, we also just gonna mention some other stuff that have been happening over this past week, and that is that we did a US Olympic trials picks on our Instagram, me versus Aaron, and we basically picked a winner for each event. And then if your winner from your event, if they scored first, second, or third, they either got 3 points, 2 points, or 1 point, and the person with the highest score won. And your boy got the dub. This man really thought he could beat me. Aaron really thought he could beat me. I took the dub 94-85. Like, I just want to point out some upsets that I had. This man picked Asa Felix for the 2. I picked Gabby Thomas. I knew she was gonna take that. Like, come on, I picked Grant Fisher for the 10. Picked Grant Fisher for the 10. He picked Lopez Lamont. Lopez didn't score. Fisher still got in. So like, it was a good battle, Aaron. But I'm just saying, bro, like, I'm just more knowledgeable. It's just sometimes it just happens like that.
Chill. Calm down. Hey man, that's just the game.
Hey, it was really cool though, and I think a lot of people liked it on Instagram. So I wanna be able for you guys to participate as well. So I think we're gonna do the same thing for the Olympics, and I'm either gonna make like a Google document or a document that you guys can like print out and like play with your friends and create a pool. And I think this is really an easy and simple way to like have something that's sort of like fantasy in a way, like fantasy football or fantasy basketball. So I think it's just something really interesting that you can actually like have people that you're rooting for while you're watching the race if you don't have a horse in the race, and especially in the field events because we don't be watching and pay attention to the field all the time. But it really got me paying attention. How did you feel about the whole trials picks, Aaron?
Bro, I thought it was a dope concept too from the get-go. One thing, like Joshua was saying off wax, if we were gonna just do winners at the beginning, and with just winners, like it would have just came down to 1 point. Joshua would have won by 1 point if it was just winners. But with having so many, we're doing that top 3 in the scoring system, it makes you consider a lot of things. Because like on my end, for my team, I had Lopez Lamont, who ended up getting injured. He doesn't race. I had Sha'Carri Richardson, but she decided not to run the 200. So just like in fantasy with injuries and things like that, there's so much you have to consider into your picks, which makes it really fun. And yeah, like Joshua said, you really like dig into, because like, yes, we know JuVaughn Harrison, we know the Will Clay on triple jump, but when you dig down into that second and third place, that there's so many people that could be there, and you're gonna see some people on that start list that you haven't been paying attention to all season, and it's gonna make you a fan. It's gonna make you more knowledgeable, and it just makes it more enjoyable to watch, to have a leg in the race, So I thought it was super cool. Love to do this for the Olympics and just going for it for the national championships. But hey man, this might be our little app idea, This might be our little
Hey,
app. We gotta get on it before somebody try to steal it. But
for real, we gotta get on this. And also just too, like I'm learning who Rudy, we both picked Rudy Winkler for the hammer throw. Then this dude goes out there and breaks the American record. Like, so
Crazy.
now I know this man's name in the hammer throw now. So like, I think it just also just makes you more aware, and just learning from this year too, as we dove deeper into the podcast game and like deeper into just the running report, bro. Like knowing so much about these athletes and having athletes on the podcast, I'm definitely rooting way more than ever before. And like I feel more I feel like I just feel more in touch with everything, to say the least. So it's exciting, and I think that's one of the reasons why we got picked to do a newsletter during this trials time, which was really cool. We were on the meter. If you guys weren't subscribed for Tracksmith, really a great opportunity to go ahead and do that. But low key, Aaron, are we newsletter people now, bro? Is that what we need to get into next? It was kind of cool. I don't know.
It was kind of cool. I'm gonna let the people decide. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I went into that not very confident of my writing skills and my grammar. I haven't written, something creative since like college, which for me was 2017. Like, that's a long time, bruh. Yeah. So I was definitely struggling at first, but as we got deeper into it, I did start to like it, start to find my voice. And I feel like it's something we could do. I feel like the more I did it, the more I started like getting more comfortable, getting more confidence, and like finding that voice. But I get why people like it. I think it's super interesting. I like the wave of it. But hey, if we get on that, Let's Run don't want us. They don't want us to start getting on the newsletter stuff, because
they don't want to see us. They definitely don't want to see us. It was a good time, a nice experience. We'll see what happens in the future. Maybe we'll get more opportunities like that, or maybe we'll start our own newsletter. I don't know if it'll be every single day like that, though. That was kind of tough every single night. But
it was.
Hey, we'll get it done, and if the people want it, bro, we'll bring it to y'all for sure. But before getting the recap, I just want to say, bro, thank you guys for everybody that's been following us and keeping up with us. Make sure you guys make sure to rate the podcast if you haven't already, and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Share with your friend on Instagram, on Twitter, something like that. We want to keep on growing the podcast, because low-key, you getting stuff that you don't get anywhere else on the Two Black Runners podcast. And first off, that's where we start right off in our Olympic trials recap, because we probably had the most heated discussion about the women's 400-meter hurdles a couple months back, about whose time is it, Sydney McLaughlin and Dalilah Muhammad. And low-key, I kind of just won the argument for a second, at least, because Sydney McLaughlin beat Dalilah Muhammad, breaks the world record at 51.90, destroys it by 0.25 seconds, went out there after on the 9th hurdle, really just stepped down, marched down, separated from Dalilah Muhammad, and took the victory. Bro, it's like, Aaron, what were you thinking about this race, bro? 51.90. We were all expecting something fast, but to break the world record in her 4th 400-meter hurdle race, really her 3rd 400-meter hurdle race of the year, is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. It's pretty incredible. But let's give a round of applause to both of these women. Like, they're both just amazing athletes, and I just feel honored that we get to witness this greatness by the two of them. And now they're bringing along Anna Cockrell, this college athlete. But the fact that we get to witness this time in the 400-meter hurdles for women is amazing. And yeah, it was only Sydney's 4th 400-meter hurdles race. It was only Dalilah Muhammad's 3rd race. And like, I'm gonna just break it down like this, bro. The fact that, to me too, though, that it was Dalilah Muhammad's 1st race, and the way she ran and got out with so much confidence, you know what I mean? Like she said, her 1st race of this year was a 65, and now she just ran 52. You know what I'm saying? 50. Oh, my bad. She's 55, and now she ran 52. So like, that was insane to see her execute her usual game plan. Like, she went out super hard those first few hurdles, relaxed, and then made a big move with about 120 to go. And Sydney stayed calm, because you see her do this. She always puts it on Sydney every time. But usually Sydney's not able to catch her, because when she's trying to catch her, Dalilah's running world records. But this time, Sydney caught her. And if you're going to catch Dalilah Muhammad after she gets out super hard and puts another move on you, you're going to run 51.9.
Yeah.
You got to run 51.9. That's what it's going to take to beat her. And Sydney, she buckled down this year. You know, we've seen a little bit of a personality change. She just seems more focused. She seems more focused, you know? And I feel like she's learned. I've always thought this, like Dalia Muhammad is going to be what brings Sydney to the next level. Like, she learned from Dalia. She's so serious in her racing, so professional like Dalia. So now I gotta agree with you, bro. I think it's both their times.
Thank you.
I feel like this is okay. I'm going off right now, y'all, but I feel like this is Kobe and LeBron now. This is LeBron. You know, this is LeBron. You know, going to that during that Heat time. You know, the Lakers were in like 2013 when they were trying to get that next run, but I think we're gonna see Dalia respond. Like we said, that was only her third race, so let's see if they do any races before the Olympics. But I think the world record is gonna go down again.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be surprised the world record going down again. And definitely once they get in competition with Famke Bull as well, she's definitely not on that level yet, but she could cause some trouble once she gets into real competition with like Sydney McLaughlin and with Anna Cockrell as well. And then one more thing in the women's 400 meter hurdles before we move on, because we got a lot of stuff to go to, and we can talk about the 400 hurdles for a second. But low-key, it was devastating to see Shamir Little hit the 8th hurdle, and then she misses the team barely. But then also, like, it's also great, I feel like, to see Anna Cockrell step up PRs and runs 53 low, and now number 4 in the world. And like already this year in the NCAA, like she got that Queen Harrison double in the 100 hurdles and the 400 meter hurdles, and to see her make the team is great, but absolutely devastating for Shamir Little, because she was having an amazing season all the way back in February in the indoor season in the American Track League to now. And it's devastating to really see that.
One last thing I'm gonna say about these 3 women, Anna Cockrell, Dalia Muhammad, and Sydney McLaughlin. If y'all were watching that interview that they did afterwards, I felt like there was just so much class, great personality in there, and so much story behind all 3 of those athletes. I feel like every brand, I know Dalia and Sydney already sponsored. Anna Cockrell, I feel like she's about to blow up, be big time, super big mental health advocate and everything she's been through. But all 3 of them have such amazing stories, and man, all these brands, y'all need to pay them as much as possible, bro, because they were just so well spoken in their interviews, and they look perfect, bro. They just look perfect. It was crazy. I felt like I was watching Cars, you know, when you got Lightning McQueen, the blue dude, and it was just crazy. I was just like, yo, are these all the GOATs right here? Is Anna Cockrell about to be like that new one? Are they about to bring her to that next level? That's what it felt like, bro. I feel like I was watching something special, bro. It was crazy.
I think we were. It was a world record. Another thing that was special, bruh, because we saw that black girl magic in the women's 400 meter hurdles. It continued into the women's 800 with the Thing Mo beating Ajay Wilson, Raven Rogers, and the rest of the U.S. field in her first final as a Nike athlete to run 156. Last time she was at the U.S. Championships, let me remind you, it was back in 2020. In 2020, she finished 12th place in the preliminary rounds and got like dead last in her heat, ran like 2:14, and now to come out and have the maturity since 2020, since the indoor season of 2020, to now come out this year and really just dominate pretty much and really get this win. Aaron, is this Queen Mo's era? Are we living in Queen Mo's era? Did it start last night?
I'm not ready to say that, man. You know, I might sound biased, but hey, man, we still got an American record holder and Ajay Wilson with the 155, and Raven Rogers, she's been low-key coasting the whole year, and then she just ran this 157. Like, she can run a lot faster too. But with the Thing Mo, me and you, we've been saying it all year. We've been a Thing Mo fans from the get-go, bruh. You know, we've been talking about her for some time now, if y'all been following the pod. But one thing I thought this year about a Thing Mo when we talked about these college kids competing was she has the most experience out of them. Like, she's been at that world, and not the world stage, but she's raced against professionals when she was in high school. She's been at championship meets, and she's failed at a championship meet before. And I think that really comes into play. Like and I feel like she like, and I'm gonna go back to this too. I feel like she kind of like Sydney. She was like Sydney, whereas like we seen her grow up because she was so
Yeah.
big in college, you know. And it's just so awesome to see her now doing these interviews as a grown woman, just killing it, bruh. Like for real though, I was just like, dang, that's crazy. But what I was gonna say is, yeah, I just feel like that championship experience she had in high school helped her, and she just looked so ready for the moment. She wasn't intimidated at all. She got pushed around a little bit, but she wasn't racing for second or third. She was coming there to win, and that's what she did.
And I feel like the real beauty of this race is that going into this, we were all looking at it as a three-woman race. AJ Wilson versus Raven Rogers versus Athing Mo. All three of them were supposed to make a team, and they were supposed to make a team. And low-key, we all had them on our platform. I got to interview Athing Mo. You got to interview Raven Rogers. We both interviewed AJ Wilson. But low-key, Aaron, I was scared, bro. I was really scared AJ wasn't going to make it. She was boxed in, was able to get through the next round. And I was really feeling like going into this year that like the women's 800 we can sweep. We got 2-3 at the 2019 World Championships. I'm thinking with the Athing Mo in here, we can sweep if everyone has that perfect race. Raven wasn't looking too good this season. AJ didn't run the best at the U.S. Championships, and I'm when you have to look at the two races on the women's side that are most possible to sweep, I think it's definitely the women's 400 meter hurdles and the women's 800. So which one between those two, the women's 800 or women's 400 meter hurdles, do you think is most likely for a sweep at the Olympics?
Bro, that's a hard one, man. That's a hard one, man. I mean, I think I'm gonna say, I think we're guaranteed 100% in the hurdles.
Yeah, most definitely.
But it's just like, will Anna Cockrell get that bronze? That's the real question. And then on the women's side, on the 800 side, there's still a lot of questions. You've got Jenna Ricci, you got Laura Muir, and I'm sure there's always going to be someone else right there that can run like 158, 157. But I honestly, I'm gonna say the 4 hurdles just because I know we got the 2 world record holders in that race. So I'm gonna say that too. We just got to get third. I would say the women's 8 is up in the air, but in both of those races, I expect 2 medals for sure. 2 medals for sure.
Yeah, I think we can definitely sweep in the 400 hurdles. It's gonna come down to how well Famke Bull runs as well, because she has been having an amazing season and she's right ahead of Anna Cockrell. Anna Cockrell's 4th in the world and Famke Bull is 3rd. But I really want to see this 800 meter sweep just because we got 2-3 in 2019, and just the fact of like, really, if AJ is just able to run like a better race, to be honest, I think it almost looked like when she was coming down that last 100, it was looking like Donovan Brazier all over again, right? I was like, oh my gosh, no. But I think she's definitely going to go back. It's great that it happened here instead of the World Championships like it did for her in the World Championships. She was able to have the bad race here. So I think she's going to be able to go back to the drawing board and be able to give Athing Mo a run for her money. Because that's what I really want to see. I want to see like both of them under 155 and Raven Rogers at 155 as well. Like, why can't we just have that and have Black Girl Magic in the 800? Like, let's get more Black people in these events, bro. And it's 800 and above. It's cool.
I think we will see AJ battling her. She just got boxed in, and there was like a move where like she could have went, and then Laura Muir started moving, and it kind of pushed her back. So I don't know if she was just trying to be patient or how she was feeling in the race, but I definitely think she could be up there, and we know Raven could be up there too. Like, she ran 157. That was her season best today. So
yeah,
Athing is definitely more sharp than these two women. So we'll see.
We make a lot of hot takes on this show, and one of the bigger hot takes I feel like happened was all the way back in it was all the way back in April when Aaron called that Cole Hocker is gonna win the Olympic trials. And I said it was a false start, but this man was right. This man was right. Aaron, what went into this thinking, bro? I can't believe I was definitely adamant that if Cole Hocker got in position 100 meters to go, he was making the team. I didn't think he was gonna beat Centro though, but you called it, bro. You called it.
Hey, let's rewind back. Let's rewind back, y'all. earlier this year, you know, Cole Cooper and Cole Hocker, they do this 1200 time trial. I forgot what the time was, but they ran something crazy, right? And everyone was hyped off Cooper. But the real story was this 19-year-old Cole Hocker. How was he running like 250 something? Like, what? And then we see him in his first 5K against Central. He runs 13:30. This man 19, and he was going at Central's neck. He was going at Central's neck. Y'all remember that? He barely lost to Central. He barely lost to Central, and after that, he didn't lose for a minute. And once he ran 350, and I saw Central run 150 or 151 or whatever he ran, not good. I was starting to think, I was like, maybe that race was closer than we thought, man. Maybe it was closer than we thought, because this man just ran a 350. Like, he's for real. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
number 8 all time.
That's number 8 all time. And he was only 19. And then we see what he does at indoor. And it's just like, hold up. We thought Cooper Tier was the one, but maybe this dude is better than Cooper Tier, bro. Maybe he's that guy. And I mean, that's kind of a lot of the thought that I went to it. It was just really respecting the time. And a lot of it too, it was more than the time, bro. For me, it was the way he went at Central, bro. That's what we talked about. He just never, like Cole Hocker, like, I love watching him race because he ain't scared, bro. He don't care who it is, who he's in the race with. At 19 years old, to like really like go at Central's neck like that, 1v1, you know? And now he's shushing them. He said, sit down, be quiet. He said, be quiet.
Bro, he really, like, we said after the sound running track meet, like, bro, next time he sees Centro, he's going for that scout. And it was the championship race. It was the time it mattered. And he went for that scout. This dude's kick is there's no one that has, I feel like he has like the best kick in the world right now, bro. That's what it looks like. And I'm just excited to see what's going to happen once he gets into like this international competition where they're running really fast every single time out. Because, well, if they go slow, I don't know. If they go slow at the Olympics, bro, this dude could get the dub, low-key.
52.
He could get the dub. But
52 last lap with a 25 last 200, bro.
What do you think he's running? Like a fast Diamond League type race or fast Tokyo type race? What do you think he can run?
Bro, I honestly have no idea, bro. Like, I mean, I was top of my mind. I don't want to put no limit on this man, you know? Like, he just beat hey, everybody's saying I gotta be respectful to Central. He just beat the Olympic champion at the Olympic trials. He just beat the Olympic champion. And he beat Craig Ingalls, and he beat Josh Thompson. Like, he just beat all of these dudes, bro. And it's getting to a point where we're just like Kenya. We're just like Ethiopia. We're like Norway. We have young people that are crazy. We'll get to that at the end. But what impresses me a lot about this dude is that he just ran 3 rounds at NCAAs. You know, he just ran another 3 rounds at the trials. And like, he led most of those races from the gun. And then at this race, he knows he gets boxed in, but he runs aggressive and makes moves, bro. He's not afraid to make moves. He wanted to go. If you really go back and watch that race, that dude was trying to get out and go for so long in that race, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I know he can run way like under 333, I think. And if it's in a strung out race, but we'll see, man. I don't want to put any limits on him.
Yeah, then we also have to acknowledge Craig Ingalls did not make the team. The American hero barely edged out by Yared Naguse. Crazy race, but hey, that's just what happens. America is hard to make. It's hard to make, and I could imagine 2 college kids in the 15. I would have been surprised if you would have told me that last year. But that's what it is right now. Then also what it is, and no one can really do about it in the high jump and the long jump. It's JuVaughn Harrison, bro. This dude's a beast, man. This dude's a beast. First person to win the long jump and the high jump at the Olympic trials since Jim Thorpe back in 1912. Like, this man is insane. This man won the high jump and the long jump first in the indoor national championships for NCAA. Then he did at the NCAA's outdoor national championship. Now he does it at the US. Is this man gonna do this in Tokyo? Is he gonna do this at the Olympics? This man can't be stopped when he's doing this double. It's like he's better or something.
Hey, bro, this man hasn't lost in the high jump the entire year. Like,
Wow.
I saw something where he hasn't. I saw some. I can't remember, but there is some amount of days he hasn't lost in the high jump. I think that might be the harder one for him to win at the Olympics. But he has a real shot of definitely medaling in both of them. And let's try to keep. I'm hyped on him. I wanna lift him up, and he need to get all the sponsorships possible. But let's not let the NFL steal this man from us, bruh. Come on, bro. Because I don't think there's a more athletic human on the planet than JuVaughn Harrison. This guy
No,
is jumping 27 feet. He's jumping 27 feet, and he's jumping 27 feet far. Then he could high jump 7'8", bruh.
yeah,
Bro, he's six
it's
four.
it's pretty much a drawn conclusion. Like this dude has the most bunnies like in the world right now, or definitely on the track and field. You're able to win the high jump and the long jump. That's something, bro. People don't do that. No one does that double. Like
Nobody can jump with this man. Nobody. I don't care. Zach Levine, Aaron. Nobody.
nobody.
Nobody. Anybody. You get mossed by him. You get dunked on by him. Nobody, bruh. Nobody. I want to see him. Can we put him in the dunk contest? Let's let this man do the combine. Let's let this man do the combine just to show y'all
Bro,
how crazy this dude is, bro. But I don't want an NFL team to snatch him up from us, y'all. But so we need to give him his roses, and we need to pay this man big, okay, Nike? Okay, whoever it is, y'all need to pay this man.
he's number two in the long jump and the high jump right now in the world. It can definitely happen. Tokyo long jump, high jump, double. Oh dang, JuVaughn Harrison. That's just crazy. That's crazy. But real quick, Aaron, let's go off track and then we'll get back to our recap because something happened at the Olympic trials. I got a lot of people talking outside of the track world, and that was Gwen Berry. Gwen Berry, when she was on the podium for her Olympic trials ceremony, where he finished third place in the hammer throw, where Deanna Price actually threw a big throw, American record, some of the farthest throws ever. But the big story came from Gwen Berry when she was on the podium and the national anthem played for the entire meet, not just for the podium stand, just for the national anthem, like how they do at football games or basketball games before sporting events start, was played during the time that she was on the podium, and she turned away from the flag, held up a shirt that said, "I am an athlete activist." And it got a lot of people outraged, as you can imagine, as we've seen before with Colin Kaepernick and people in the past when they protest the national anthem. That's a lot to take in. Personally, I don't have all the information on the situation, but just from what has happened and transpired and seen some comments coming in from every which way, it's still boggling to me that people still call this sentiment anti-American, because I feel like it's the most American thing to do in a way, and to like to really stand up for what you believe in and to rebel and protest. That's what America's been doing from the get-go, to be honest, even when we were enslaved. You feel me? But Aaron, how do you feel about the situation, bro?
Gwen Berry said it. She in quotations. I have this quote from Gwen Berry. She said, "My purpose and mission is bigger than sports. I'm here to represent those who died due to systematic racism. That's the important part. That's why I'm going. That's why I'm here today." And like while I'm rocking the Tommy Smith and John Carlos right here, you know, she may be representing somebody, you know, in our timeline that was killed, or just like anything that's happened to you, anything that's happened to me. That's what she's standing for. That's what she's fighting for. So I'll always be behind that. And I think that's something that we have to continually push for if we're going to try and make that change. And it's something like we know, like it's not going to go happen overnight. Just because Juneteenth is a holiday now doesn't mean we need to stop
Yeah.
having these athlete activists. And I'm super thankful. I'm not an activist, you know, but to have an athlete out there that's gonna go and stand up for us, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and really like push for these changes and stand up against things like Rule 50, you know, that's trying to silence, Black athletes. I just feel really grateful to have Gwen Berry in our corner and everything that she does. So super, super happy. I saw a picture of her and Alison Desir together, two legends, two amazing women. Y'all know Alison Desir, check out that podcast. But I just feel super grateful um, that we have Gwen Berry, to stand up for us and to speak for us. But I don't know how I feel about the situation. It's just, it's standard. It's standard. People are gonna be mad when you speak out against this. You know, like you said, Joshua, we don't usually play the anthem at USA's. So she felt like it was a setup, and whether it was a setup or was a coincidence, I think she responded. I think she responded correctly. I'm happy how she responded.
Yeah, she's definitely she's been consistent with her stance from the very beginning and hasn't wavered. And hey, that's just you're going to protest, and do it on the biggest stage brings more attention to your protest. So you gotta have all we have is definitely respect for Gwen Berry and what she is doing in the rink and outside of the rink as well. A great role model, I feel like, for anybody out there. But let's get back on track, finish up this podcast and our recaps real quick, because there was a lot of things on the track that were exciting. On Saturday, we saw Grant Holloway go 100 of the second to the world record, Aries Merritt's world record in the 110-meter hurdles, running 12.81. Aaron, this was insane. This is insane. This was the first thing that came on TV, the first running event of the day, and literally he just blasted out the blocks, didn't hit any hurdles, and went through the line and ran 12.81. And honestly, I'm saying this right now, like, I know Sha'Carri Richardson is totally different and like she's on a whole nother level and how she's crossed platforms, but I'm all like, bro, Grant Holloway needs to be getting the same hype because this dude is insane. Like he could be in the NFL right now. Let's be honest. He didn't play football in college, but like he's that type of athlete that could have been in the NFL. Like for anything that he do, he was going to be beast. Like this man is that type of athlete that needs the respect that this dude could be like a decathlete. I don't know. Grant Holloway could be on the 4x4. He could pretty much do anything, and he's going to get the world record very, very soon.
Yeah, such an amazing athlete, and he's just a great personality. He really similar to Gwen Berry, I feel like he sticks to who he is. He sticks to his personality, who he is. He's always very focused, always ready for the race, and he's just class whenever he speaks. And I feel like he's gonna be like seen for years now as a great role model to all the young hurdlers coming up. But it's just great. He's another athlete that, if you've been following track and field, we've been watching him since college, like just be a crazy, amazing athlete and do all these great things. So to see him get into like that world record level is amazing. I'm excited to see what he's gonna do at the Olympics, but it just feels like ever since he got that world championship, like he just went to another level. I don't know if that just gave him the confidence he needed, but he's just taking everything to a whole nother level. And, he tweeted out the other day, that guy sitting in the chair and now moving up. So like he locked in. Like y'all thought he was locked in before the trials, bruh. Now he locked in, and I think we gonna, similar to Sydney McLaughlin, we about to see Grant Holloway destroy this record, bro.
Yeah, I don't think he's not gonna get this. He may not get the story and the attention that he deserves for like the things that he has around him and the story that we see with all the other athletes. But I think just his ability alone needs to give him the respect that he deserves this Olympics. Because Omar McLeod may not even be there. He didn't make it. He didn't go through the Olympic trials, and that's a whole other podcast that we can talk about what happened to him and his situation. But he may just dominate this race, and his ability is really going to be on display at the Olympics. And it's going to be nice to see Devin Allen and Daniel Roberts also going along with them. But then also in the 400-meter hurdles, the men's 400-meter hurdles, we saw another dominant performance in Rai Benjamin taking the 400-meter hurdle title. And honestly, bro, I don't even really know what to say about this guy, man. This dude runs number 2 all time in this event. Only thing I got to say is that I can't wait until he faces Karsten Warholm and arm de samba. Like, it's gonna be insane. And the world record's going down this year. We say this every single year, but this year it's going down, right?
100%, man. And I remember at Worlds, we really wanted to see it go down, and they ran incredible at that race, and we were a little bit disappointed. But I think Rai, and this is why I know Michael Norman is ready too, because last year they kind of last time championships they went into it like kind of injured, and this year they kind of they worked it out, and they figured out the formula to just get there healthy, kind of work their way into it. So I would think they're not at their peak shape. So Rai didn't even think that he was gonna get that close to the world record. He knew he was gonna run 46, but he wasn't just going out there for the world record. So at the Olympics, I think it's gonna be one of the best Olympics ever, bro. I feel like every race we're talking about, like, oh yeah, the world record might go down. So this dude is another person like Grant Holloway, like Sydney, like he's a freak athlete, bro. Freak athlete. Like, this dude could be on the team in the 400 too if he really wanted to. I would love to see what he could run in the 8. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he probably, I don't know if he's going to be in the 400 meter relay and the 4x4 because it's so deep this year, but he may very well be on that team, to be honest. It's definitely going to be interesting. I think that injury point is a great point to point out, because they did go and hurt, and now they're looking better than ever. And we're able to slowly go into this season and looking to run fast when the time comes. And another person, and like, honestly, Aaron, we've been talking about a lot of sprints, and like, we didn't even mention the distance events, but like, the distance events were cool, and we got one to talk about, and that was Paul Chelimo winning the 5K over Woody Kincaid and Grant Fisher in a great field. And like, honestly, bro, I just feel like Paul Chelimo would be so fun to race against. I think he would be a little annoying too. Like, to be honest, I think he would be pissing you off in the race. But like, honestly, once you get out of it and you like, after Paul Chelimo's gone, Woody Kincaid and Grant Fisher, they're definitely going to miss this guy and racing against him and everything that he brings to the 5K, the 10K, and everything that he does.
I love the pettiness, Chelimo. I love it. I love the pettiness, bro. You remind me of myself when I was in high school, bro. That's how I would have been. If we were me and Chelimo, people might be like, bro, don't compare yourself to Chelimo. All I'm saying is, me and Chelimo, if we were the same age in high school racing, we might have ended up swinging on each other. I ain't gonna lie.
I believe it.
To the homies that know from Roosevelt, they see what happened when I got put in the headlock one time. It's a story for another workout. But I've been in a 2-mile race and got in a fight before. So like, me and Chelimo, you don't be doing. Hey, all I'm saying is, bro, hey, I've seen that. I've honestly done those type of things where somebody hit me on my thing and I look back at them like, yo, I was crazy sometimes, but I love all the pettiness, Chelimo, straight entertaining the entire time. Right now to lane 4. Some soft people didn't like that, but yo, I thought it was fire, bro. I love all the talking. I love all pushing and the shoving. It makes for a great story in the distance events, and Chelimo just showed that, yeah, there's a whole new generation of athlete, but I'm still here, bruh. I'm still here, and I'm still one of the best in the world. You can't just outkick me.
Yeah, and the really interesting thing about that is, like, he was the oldest person. He was one of the oldest people in the race, 30 years old, compared to Woody Kincaid and Grant Fisher. Grant Fisher's only 23, Woody Kincaid's like 25. But then I really feel like the people in the back of that pack, like Robert Brandt, Cooper Tier, Nico Young, Lalo Herrera, there's so many people that are going to be there. Like, even just like next year, they're going to get faster and going to be like Paris 2024. We definitely saw like that next generation in the back of that pack that's going to be moving up in the 5K. And we also saw probably the next generation in the 200 really get to her peak this past Saturday, and Gabby Thomas running at 22:61. Hey. I was telling y'all, she was having a great season. I pointed this out when we made our pick. She was having a great season. PR in the 400 this year, was PR in the 100 during the prelims, and already PR in the 200 earlier this year too. Like, and she was really peaking at the right time. Comes out, runs 21:61, second fastest woman all time in the 200. And now, bro, I'm looking at, she has the world lead 22. She has the world lead, but I'm still going into the Tokyo Olympics, Aaron. I'm thinking like, I don't feel like she's the favorite. I really don't. Like, with Shauna Miller-Weibo, with Dean Asher-Smith and Shelly Ann Fraser-Price and Elaine Thompson. Like,
gosh, right.
Why don't I feel like Gabby Thomas is the favorite, bro? And I'm rooting for her, but I just don't feel like it.
Hey, I feel you, but let's give her before we go into that, let's give her her
Yeah.
roses because she, as even pointed out, like she's always overlooked. She's
Mm.
always overlooked against a lot of these other women. Even when she runs 21.6, like it's still in our minds for some reason. Like people are like, is she the favorite? But it's not. It really it's nothing. No hard feelings. There's no disrespect to you, Gabby. And I'm sorry if we have ever came off disrespectful when we were talking about you. I truly do apologize because you are a beast. You're number 2 all time. And so, what can we say? But she on the
Not
same level
much.
as Sha'Carri. She the same level as Sha'Carri. Is she on the same level as all these other women? Maybe she's a little bit more quiet. Maybe because she's a Harvard grad. But it's also just because there's so many amazing women in this race. You know, the 100 as well. But the women's 200 is gonna be it's gonna be an all-time great race because you named like 3 or 4 different people that might be here, and she's number 2 of all time. So when we have them all in the race together, y'all, we really might see some. We're gonna see some world records, bro. We're gonna see some world records at this Olympics. It's gonna be one of the best Olympics of all time, bro. Like
Yeah.
for real.
It's going to be absolutely crazy. And one thing I want to acknowledge before we get out of here, I want to make a post on this too. Before we get done talking about Gabby Thomas, is that like a month out before the Olympic trials, she had a scare where she thought she had a tumor on her liver. So like she really had like that type of scare. And I never had a scare like that, but I could imagine that like going through that and it ended up being like negative and it was all everything was all good. But going through that for like a couple weeks and like having to wait for the results has to do some type of has to be a whirlwind in your mind, bro. And to come out after a month of that and really just perform, we saw a lot of things like that from even just like Sha'Carri Richardson coming back from loss. Paul Chelimo mentioned it as well, coming back from a loss. And a lot of these athletes are dealing with a lot of things in their mind, but they're still able to perform on the highest level. So really, hats off to Gabby Thomas. I know I got faith in you, Gabby. Believe me, I do got faith in you. But you're up against some stiff competition, and it's gonna be exciting, bro. It really is gonna be exciting. That's why we love sports.
And as we move on into takeaways, one thing I want to mention is what you just said right now. Like a lot of these athletes have been through some things, man. Because when you think about it, you know, we haven't seen them race at the championship level since 2019, and we went through some. We everyone went through something with COVID, and a lot of people dealt with losses in their families or someone that they knew. Paul Chelimo lost his brother. Sha'Carri Richardson lost their mom. And I just think a lot of people have went through adversity in these past 2 years to get to line. And I think all these athletes came to the line from college to high school, and they were just like, I'm so excited for this opportunity. I'm gonna capitalize and make the most of it. And it had to play into why we saw so many big times, so many fast times.
Yeah, most definitely. And like you said, as we go into our takeaways, there's so many things to take away from this great meet. Like Aaron said on Sunday, one of the greatest meets that he ever witnessed. Definitely one of the greatest meets I ever seen on TV. Like one of the greatest hours of track and field, even from the field events on their coverage. NBC getting better. They're getting better. I think Otto got more control or something. He listened to us. I think he listened to us off wax. I'm just,
Man, hey,
yeah,
I don't
you
know,
don't
man.
know. You got influence. You got influence by us. I don't know. That's all I'll say. It's just, but one of the biggest takeaways that we had from this meet was just the new generation of athletes, and specifically for me, it has to be the 2000 ands out there. I'm talking about the 2001s, 2002s, 2003s, even 2005 of Sophia Gorion going
Crazy.
out there and running and taking spots from people out there that have been running for forever, that have been running for over 15, 16 years. People like Ariane Knighton, born in 2004, getting second place in the Olympics. Like, that's it. Like, come on, man. 2004? And he's really doing this? I got to reevaluate my life and like,
I'm 10
and
years
what I'm
older
doing
than
right
this
now.
man, bro.
Like, these guys are really crazy. What are you thinking about the new generation of track and field right now, Aaron?
Dude, yeah, it really felt like a changing of a guard in a lot of ways, bro. Like, it just seemed like I saw something 13 college athletes and 1 high school junior is going to Tokyo. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I don't know what is in the water or what exactly has changed, but all these athletes too, they look very focused, determined, and they all have so much personality when you get them behind a mic. They're all like from Cole Hocker to Athing Mo to Ariane Knighting to Sydney McLaughlin. I think she was born 2000, but you know, it just feels like they all deserve sponsors, bro. Hobbs Kessler, like they all have so much personality that you get behind, but they all seem just so ready for the moment. And we've already been talking a lot about, I think there's a change in a guard when you think about the media side, the people that are starting to become involved. And I do really feel like the social media aspect of the running world has impacted what we see, like that meet was only an hour long. Like we've been talking about that, cutting it short. Like, there's things that are set up on purpose, and that was a preview, but we'll get into that later. But I think this new generation, the new generation of athlete new generation of track athlete is here, and we need to pay respect to them. We've seen these college athletes running so fast all year, and we're like, they're time trialing. We need to see them, against the pros. And like a lot of them really did show up, bro. To have Cole Hocker and Athing Mo both take home wins, and then JuVaughn Harrison to dominate in the high jump and the long jump, like the collegiate system is working. It's working right now. And we can't forget about homie in the 800, taking Isaiah Jewett, taking second in the 8, showing up everyone the whole year. Donovan Brazier, Bryce Hoppel. Those are my top 2. He beat both of them, bro. He beat both of them. So the collegiate system is working, and even the high school system, something about what we're doing in training, Ariane Knighting, making teams. So it's just like, I just feel like we're on the same level as a lot of different countries now. We see it in Kenya and Ethiopia. We try to say that they're too old, that they don't have birth certificates or something. I don't know why we say that, because we got people here doing the same thing now. Nobody's saying that, but that's a whole nother discussion. But
they may not be their actual age either, bro. Somebody need to check Cole Hawker's birth certificate. Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro.
I don't know, bro. But going in as well, another big takeaway, it has to be the Hayward magic is actually real. We saw so many. I feel like every single event I watched, there was an Olympic trials record. Like, what was the dude? Lee Diffie pretty much said that before every single long jump, steeplechase, everything from Emma Coburn to Deanna Price to Katie Najet. Like, there were so many different Olympic trials records that went down, and like I think it's the reality that like this new stadium that Nike poured so much money into, Oregon poured so much money into, it did produce some great performances. As much as I still wanted the Olympic trials to happen in Walnut, California, out SAC, like I don't know if we would have seen the same. Actually, I think we could have seen the same times, but I don't know. Hayward magic is definitely real. Like, it's definitely real.
Hey man, and what have we've been everyone this whole year has been talking so much about the production of track meets. You need to do this, it needs to be this long, we need to hype up these athletes, we need to do these type of interviews. And I would say from hands down, this was one of the best produced track meets I've ever seen. So shout out to NBC for doing y'all thing. Yo, shout out to Lewis Johnson. I enjoyed the interviews that he did. He really allowed these athletes to speak. I feel like they were getting a lot of time to talk, and we got to really get introduced to Team USA, and it provided like such great opportunity for unsponsored athletes who made the team to like showcase themselves and start to build that brand. And I just feel like there's so many people you could get behind, but don't get it twisted. Like, yes, it was hot in Eugene and they needed to move it back, but they pushed it back 4 hours. Why can't it be 2? Because it was like, bro, they had to make sure that this thing was under the lights, bro. Like, Nike and NBC was like, we're going to push this back to 8 o'clock on the last day. They've known. They knew it was going to be this hot. But they waited. They were like, you know what? We're going to go into Sunday. This is just mine. This is how I would think if I was a producer. This is what I think they did. They were like, you know what? We're going to wait until Sunday to announce that we're delaying the meet. Let's wait until Sunday. We're going to push it back to 8 o'clock Pacific time. We're going to build the anticipation, and we can't put it on at 6 because it can't be on the same time as the Hawks game. We're going to put it on at 8. No distractions. Everyone's going to look. and we're gonna debut Hayward Magic at night. You got to see the tower, you know, under the lights. They had the cheering going. That was a preview of Worlds. That was a flex. That was USATF, NBC, and Nike being like, "What up, world? USA Track and Field is here, and the Oregon Hayward Stadium is here. We taking over. This is the spot. This is Tracktown, USA." You know, they really flexed on Mount Sac, to be honest. Like,
dang, bro, why you gotta say that like that?
I did.
I don't really know if it was all that thought into it. Let's be honest. Let's really give Phil Knight all that credit, bro.
Yes, I am, bro. Nike knows what they doing, bro. That's why they Nike. I am gonna give them that credit. I don't
know about that whole theory, but the production was really good in the entertaining side, but I just want more analysis of like everything like before the races and stuff. And like if we get some debates, like I think it was really interesting how they were able just to show the 10,000 on the Olympic channel, because like it was beforehand and they had like all the time like afterwards, like to really talk about and lead up to the event. Because at that time we got to see Emily Sisson just be a dog and dominate everybody out there. But then we also just got a lot of analysis afterwards. So I think we got more stuff like that would also be cool. But they did a good job.
My only criticism is the streaming. Like it was so hard to find this meet at times. You know,
it's difficult.
That's the only thing. You know, that's the only thing. But I'm a compliment them where I think they did well. And Sunday night, the way they produced that meet, I thought was amazing. That was like one of the most entertaining track meets I've seen in a very, very long time. And I think the fact that, you know, it was only an hour long, I think that was purposeful too, bro. I think they cut it up purposeful because like you were just, there was no way to not be engaged. I felt like I was watching like a heavyweight like bout, like a fight, you know? We were just like, oh my, yeah, it was just all finals and every race was just fire, bro. So hope to see more stuff like that in the future.
And then one more quick takeaway, because you guys pretty much know this, but we're just going to remind you real quick, is that Team USA is good. Like, it's pretty much simple as that. Like, bro, like, it's hard to make the team. And, like, we seen that, like, from Justin Gatlin missing to Shamir Little missing to Donovan Brazier missing. All these people that seemed like guaranteed to make the team. Couldn't get it done. Had the bad races, so just on the bad days, and it didn't happen for them. So like it's definitely Team USA is really good, and we just have to acknowledge that like year in and year out. Like I really wish there was at the Olympics. I wish there was a team title just before. Like we have the medal count, but I wish there was just like a team title that USA could just take every year, just because I just want to be dominant. You feel me?
Yeah, no, Team USA is really good from sprints to distance to field to throws. So I think we're going to perform really well. I'm super excited for a lot of the young talent we have to see how they're going to do on that stage. But I think we're going to have a lot of people turning pro. A lot of people turning pro next year. And I'm excited to just see like the development from like high school to college. College is on the next level, man. Like people breaking 4 on the men's side like nothing. Women are just making it. High school women just be making it to the Olympic trials, running like 2 flat, 201 now. Like juniors, sophomores.
For real, bro.
We got juniors making the 200 meter team. What's going on in America right now, bro? What is going on?
It's those TikToks.
Yeah, Corvette.
And also, bro, as we close out here, I just want to talk about one more thing, and that's just the fact of like how track and field has been perceived in social media for the past 10 days, especially with Sha'Carri Richardson truly like crossing over. She got Bernice King talking about her.
She got a million followers now.
Michelle Obama talking about her, even Gabby Thomas telling her story on SportsCenter, Bleacher Report, more Sydney McLaughlin as well, and all these people getting their stories told. And I feel like this can be every year, to be honest. I feel like every year with the US Championship, there's so much great things happening that I don't see, like even just professional athletes and other sports retweeting about this event. I seen Emmanuel Acho talking about this. I seen Shannon Sharp talking about things happening at the track. So like there's Leslie Jones was talking about the steeplechase. There's so many people constantly talking about track and field, and I do realize that this is an Olympic year, but like in 2019, this was just as good. There were so many good performances as well. We saw the world record go down. That's when Sha'Carri Richardson ran that 10.7. So can we see this continue from after this Olympic year? I hope so, but it's really something that I think hopefully track and field can get to that level and people can really find a hook on it to this year, because I don't know, I think there could be some amazing times this year and amazing athletes on display as well.
Yeah, we got the World Championships at Hayward in 2022. We got the Olympics in 2024, and then LA Olympics in 2028. So I think we're gonna see a big push for these next 7 years, bro. And with now having Hayward and Mount Sac, those amazing stadiums, and I just feel like the movement in social media and the upgrade and protection on TV, I think we're gonna see, a real change, bro. We're seeing it with the athletes, we're seeing it in the media. We're entering a new era of track and field, and I'm gonna do everything I can in my power to make sure Reading Report and Two Black Runners are a part of that change, man. And we gonna try to make an impact too. But I'm just happy that we're here to witness it, man. I'm happy y'all along the ride with us,
Yeah, we really do appreciate every single one of you. And if you appreciate us, make sure you guys leave a review. If you haven't left a review on Apple Podcasts, leave a rating, share it with a friend, share the Instagram, share the podcast, share the YouTube. I don't know, just share and let them know about your favorite Two Black Runners that are trying to take over the podcast scene in the track world. And just thank you guys all for tuning in for our Olympic trials recap for part 1 and part 2. Honestly, we may not have a podcast next week. I'm just going to give you guys a heads up right now. And also I'm just talking to Aaron because I know Aaron's busy. So we may not have a podcast because if we've been killing it for these past 10 days, to be honest. I know a lot of people have been doing a lot too, but we've been going hard. So we may not have a pod next week. We'll come back in July for sure though. And also I gotta get surgery too. Dang. Yeah, I gotta get surgery. So yeah, we may not have a pod. We probably won't have one next week.
Yeah.
At the bottom line, but we'll definitely be back very, very soon. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at Two Black Runners and at _running report _ and any of you guys want to follow us on socials at Mr. Possible or Super Hot Pots. Thank y'all for joining us, the Two Black Runners podcast. Aaron, you got anything else you want to say?
Hey, I just want to say thank you. As always, man, just thank you so much to everybody that listen to this all the way to the end. If you subscribe to the meter and you are looking at our writing too, like, you the homie, and we really do appreciate.
Hey, give us some grades in the DMs.
Yeah, give us some grades because I'm really insecure about my writing. So just let me know how we did. But as always, man, if you listen this far into the podcast, you truly are a real one. If you have some time, please just rate and review the podcast and let us know what you think and how we're doing. But man, I can't wait for this Olympics, man. Can't wait for this Olympics. And until next time, y'all.
Hey, see y'all next week on Two Black Tuesday. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.